Rattler Vlog episode 32 is live. What's up, guys? My name is Kim Johnston. So excited to have you along. We've taken a couple of nights off. Actually, it's kind of a light week as far as the vlog is concerned. Tonight is the only interview we've got this week, but we're back next week with a full slate of guests covering all the sports. And in case you missed the news, cross country announced to the Rattler Sports lineup coming up later on this year. So that's exciting. Lots of great things going on with Medicine at College, and we're so excited to have you along tonight for the Rattler vlog. All right. So we're just going to give it a second here and wait for tonight's guest to join in. And there he is. All right. Looks like Kieran is there. Dragana, we're hitting you up. We're going to be coming to you here in the next few days. So it's good to see you here. Everybody, there he is. Michael
Hey,
Farion joining us right now
how's it going, KJ?
from good. Where are you at right now? Are you in Medicine Hat?
Yep, yeah, still here. Never left. Just at home right now.
Good for you. All
hmm
right, everybody. Number 23 guard for the Rattlers for 5 years joining us right now. Hang on, I've got a hair covering up my screen there. There we go. All right, Mike. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. It's
Sure.
awesome to see you here. Uh, let's start right from the beginning. Now, I don't know if you were born in Saskatoon. Are you actually from Saskatoon, or is that kind of where you grew up? Tell me a little bit
Ye-
about that. Let's start from square one.
yeah, I'm kind of a traveling suitcase. I've been around all over. Technically born in Calgary. Spent most of my younger childhood in Cleveland, Ohio, where I spent most of my elementary school. Then pretty much from there, Saskatoon is where I did most of my high school and before I came to Medicine Hat, and now I'm here.
What is the connection between Cleveland and Saskatoon? I mean, that seems like kind of an unlikely thing there. What was that
Yeah,
all
yeah.
about?
Basically, my mom just meet my brother's dad. He was a truck driver, so they actually met at a Cher concert when he was truck driving in. Yeah, that's
That's
how.
awesome.
Yeah. So they met at a Cher concert in somewhere in Canada, and that's kind of how I ended up there for about 6 to 8 years.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh, what are some of your earliest sports memories? What were all the sports that you played growing up?
Sports I played growing up, obviously soccer, like most kids starting off. But then it was baseball. I was really into baseball, but I stuck to basketball pretty early, probably around grade 9. I kind of cut everything out and made that my full-time sport all year round. So,
Okay. And so then you went on to what, Holy Cross then in Saskatoon, is that correct?
yep, yeah. I started off in a little town in Martinsville. That's where I lived when I was in grade 9, and then about grade 10, 11, I went to Holy Cross High School because they had a good basketball program there, and I ended up living with my grandma in Saskatoon. So that was the school near me. So.
Awesome. What is the high school basketball scene in Saskatoon like? Is it all like is league play all within the city, or do you travel a fair bit?
Yeah, no, it's all in Saskatoon. Kind of how it works is top teams in Saskatoon. I don't know, it could have changed from when I've been there, but it was about usually the top four teams in Saskatoon would cross over and play the top four teams in Regina. And that's how it worked. And it was like a crossover. So top seed played the fourth seed. And yeah.
And was that at Hoopla? Is that what they call it in
Yes, yes, yes.
Saskatchewan? The big
Yeah,
the
yeah,
big high school basketball
yeah.
extravaganza, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool because they have like all the divisions there, right? So it's not just Saskatoon. There's the 2A,
Yep.
3A, 4A schools. So
Did you have a high school coach that was just really, really influential on your sporting career and just kind of, just really taught you a ton kind of at that level?
yeah, for sure. That's Sean Nequitall. He was my high school coach in at Holy Cross, and whole reason I pretty much came to Medicine Hat, kept me in school, kept my grades on there. Would always check on me, make sure I was in school because I wouldn't be able to practice if I missed classes or anything like that, right? So he played a big part of my life. I still talk to him to this day. If I go back to Saskatoon, I still try to meet up with him, and yeah, I owe him a lot. He was a big influence on me, especially in school.
So how did he get you connected to Medicine Hat then?
Well, funny story. It wasn't like really him that got me connected to Medicine Hat, but he was the one kind of because then it was kind of like he did the U of S, U of R, and that was all you got, really, right? There wasn't like these colleges like there is in Alberta. But how I ended up here was actually Zach Rempel. I don't know if you know who he is, but he played on the volleyball team my first couple years.
Okay.
He got onto the volleyball team and then emailed Ben Julius because I wasn't really looking for teams to play. And he emailed Ben Julius off my email, pretending to be me, asking to give me a shot. And then I think he came to my provincials, or I went to training camp, and rest was history after that.
All right. So you arrived then in Medicine Hat for the 2011-2012 season,
Yep.
uh, basically fresh out of high school. What kind of a transition was that for you coming from an environment where, you had, well, I assume you said your grandparents, your grandma
Hmm.
cooking for you and taking care of you, and next thing you know, you're on your own and perhaps living in res and cooking your own meals and stuff like that. I think for any teenager, it's a big eye opener. Life kind of slaps you upside the head pretty hard. Talk about that transition for you from high school to college.
Yeah, it was a pretty big transition. It was kind of exciting, leave the hometown kind of on your own. Doing what you want on res and everything like that. But yeah, the food was, I think I lost so much weight in college, just not eating right. And then all the running on top of it, I was not eating enough. But yeah, it was a big transition going from, just having someone you can always rely on for food, getting you around and stuff like that, to just coming in res and you're on your own, cooking your own meals, doing everything yourself, grocery shopping for the first time, actually trying to pick out the right foods to eat and stuff like that. So yeah, it
So
was
what was your go-to meal? What were some of the things that you learned how to make pretty much right off the bat when you came to the college?
learned how to make. I don't know if I made anything. It was all oven foods.
Yep.
Chicken fingers for sure. I like my chicken fingers. It's pretty much what I ate. Jalapeno poppers, those kind of things that I can just shove in the oven and get in me before practice. Ichiban, of course. Not a big fan of it
Right.
now. Can't really eat that anymore. But yeah, I
And so
wouldn't say I
did you
cook much.
I mean, and when you're competing at a high level, did you learn pretty quickly that the more garbage you put in your system, the more garbage results you're going to get? Or like when did you finally clue in, or did you ever during your 5-year basketball career?
Yeah, fourth and fifth year, you start to figure it out. When you're younger, my metabolism was high. Like you see me, I was real skinny coming out of high school. I couldn't gain a pound no matter what I
Yep.
ate, right? So I don't know if it affected me when I was younger. I could eat a bag of chips and play a game and be totally fine. But it was probably about the fourth and fifth year I started switching over to that, the pasta, those good foods for the energy.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you got number 23. And in basketball, that's the number that almost everybody wants, right? Whether it's LeBron or MJ or
Yeah.
Blake Griffin or Draymond Green. When you when you see another player wear that number to this very day, do you find that you cheer for them just a little bit more?
A little bit. 23 wasn't even my first number. Like I was seven my first year. But then I had
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, I was seven my first year, and then I took that year off, and Colin stole the number from me. So I kind of got,
Ah,
I kind of got stuck with 23. And I'll be honest, I didn't want it at the start. I was like, man, it's like it's just automatic pressure when you're wearing 23, right? You can't be a bum if you're wearing
hmm
number 23. So I kind of just got stuck with it. And then I wearing it after the couple years, it just kind of grew on me. It just kind of became my number. Just kind of how it just kind of happened. Yeah.
yeah. So, in your last year, your 5th year at the college,
Mhm.
uh, talented team, everything was going right all season long. What was it like rolling into some of these gyms right across Alberta? You got guys like you got Guy, you got Pietro. You get all these big ballers, right? And
Hmm.
you guys were owning the Southern Conference, South Division of the
Yeah.
ACAC. What was it like rolling into all these gyms? You guys had all the swagger, I
Yeah.
guess you could say, right? That
Yeah.
must have been such a cool vibe all season long.
Yeah, it was kind of the first year we had that, right? I wouldn't say we were always the underdogs, but we were never like I would say we were near the top, but not the top team. But that year coming in, it was just we felt it, we knew it, we knew the pressure that we had on us, and just kind of playing with Guy and Pietro. I played with them for like that was my like third year with them, so my chemistry with those guys was just on point. And then adding Sal and Jordan just kind of took us to another level, especially with the strong bench we had. Yeah, I'd say it's a lot to those bench guys though too, because even in practice we were playing the like our bench was kind of better than a lot of the starters, I would say, in the ACAC. So kind of going against them, having them push us for our spots every day, kind of helped us keep that mentality, right? Never drop, always keep pushing, and we just loved winning. Like that was the thing with that team. I've never had played with so many competitive people. Like our practices were intense, our alumni games were even intense. Like everything we did was
Mm-hmm.
always really high competition. So walking in those gyms and just kind of, I remember we'd be down by like 10, 15 points at half, but we'd come in the locker room like, yeah, we're gonna win. Like we had no doubt that we would win that game, and that was the first time I'd experienced that. Right, you just got so many weapons and so many great guys, so many great basketball players on the court at once, and it was a good feeling, just playing with alongside those guys and just having that confidence that we had every single game, night in and night
Yeah.
out.
So during your 5-year Rattler career, what was the was there what was the biggest moment of adversity though that you faced during that entire time? I mean, it's safe to say that every player, every team, you got to work through that. But was there a moment during that whole 5-year thing where you were just like, God, I don't know if I can continue. I don't know what it's going to take to keep pushing forward. What was that moment of adversity? Or can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like that was the weird year. Like we didn't have too much adversity until the end. Obviously, there was nothing to
Mm-hmm.
overcome because it was over. I think us losing those games because of just a technicality with Jordan there, giving us those three losses off the start. I think that was, in a way a blessing, right? Because we won those three games, and then it kind of tarnished our record a bit, just because of some mishap there. So we ended up getting three losses right off the bat, and now we're like, okay, we got to step up to make playoffs, even not even just be the first team. So I think that was like that adversity where like, come on, man, fifth year and this happens and you're giving us three losses right at the start of the season, right? So
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest adversity we had till the end. But at the same time, I think that really helped us keep the foot on the pedal, right?
Yep. So that last season, hosting the ACAC Conference Championships, you finished in
Hmm.
first in the South there. The tournament rolls around. Game one, you guys beat Augustana, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep. Yep.
and then you went on to play Lethbridge
Yeah.
in the second game. And
Yes.
to this day, tell me how much it stings, though.
Oh man, I can't even talk about it.
Oh,
I hate that I gotta live with that, especially knowing that we were like 40ing that team all year, like they
yeah.
just kind of got us when it counted. I think we just played them a little bit too much that year. I think we played them like 4 or 5 times, and that actually kind of probably worked out to a disadvantage us going in. I wouldn't say cocky, but when you beat a team like 3 times by 40 points, you don't think you're gonna lose, right?
Hmm.
Especially in the home gym, it stings. Yeah, that's a rough one.
But I mean, there was a lot of just bad luck in that game. I think like
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to point it out, 1 for 7
Mhm.
from 3 points for you or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't going in. I mean, some days
Yeah.
the basketball gods just don't smile on you, right?
Yeah, and that was the tough part because we had so many weapons on that team. If one guy was off, like someone else could just take it, right? Or another two
Yeah,
guys. And that was the first game and the last game where like none of us had it going. Like I don't think one person really found their
yeah,
stride in that game that we could just feed the ball to, which was a first for us. And yeah, I think and another thing too is usually when we're going into playoffs, we had nothing to lose, right? Like we weren't expected to win or anything like that. And then this year
hmm,
we were easily that year, sorry, we were
yeah.
expected to win and take it all. So it's a different mentality when you got the expectations on you.
And if Lethbridge would have went on to steamroll through the rest of that weekend, it would have been okay. You know what? They
Yeah,
got hot, but then they
yeah,
go turn around and they get crushed by Sate.
yeah,
That has got to
yeah.
make it even more frustrating.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like State was they were our team that year. Like every game
Yeah.
was kind of like a championship game against them, and they knew it, and we knew it, and we know they didn't want to play us in the finals, but so I know they were happy. I could see them cheering on the sidelines, kind of at the
Hmm.
end of the fourth quarter there when we were losing. So
Yeah. All right, let's move on from that. I can tell
sure,
you're still a little bitter about that, so let's move on from
good.
that. What is the coolest sports experience you've ever had as a fan?
Coolest sports experience I've had as a fan. Um, that's a tough one because I've never been to like any professional sports game or anything like that. So I
Whoa,
mean,
whoa, whoa! That is interesting. That
yeah,
is interesting.
never, nothing.
So the pinnacle of sports that maybe you've been to as a fan might be like a Saskatoon Blades game
I don't
or a
even know if
Medicine Hat Tigers game.
yeah, I don't even know if I've been to them. Not much of a hockey guy, honestly. Probably just like we were supposed to go to March Madness this year. Obviously, COVID shut that down, so that sucked. But yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't even been to a CFL game, like no pro sports game, not an NHL game, nothing. So
That's incredible.
yeah,
So,
it's crazy.
I talk to other student athletes on here, and they talk about going to this college game or that game, and they watch
Mhm.
it, and they just help them elevate their game and so on. It's pretty cool that you managed to play at a high level like that, but you didn't have that outside influence. I mean, you kept it internal.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
guy, my like one of my best friends, Cher from Saskatoon. Me and him just played one on one for hours, and that was kind of it. Like we didn't really watch even like we'd watch basketball, of course, and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
younger childhood, it was just kind of focusing on my game. I knew I wasn't the biggest guy out there, weight wise and stuff like that in high school, so I had to get better other ways. So
Yep.
just kind of playing with
So
him helped out.
so bring me up to speed here at the college. Who all did you have coaching you during your 5 years?
Ben, Craig, and Rich. Yeah.
Tell me this: is the coach always right? Or were you ever
Yeah.
able to whether it's in practice or at halftime go up to the coach and say, look, I mean, we need to change this. I know you want us to do it this way, but that's not working. We can't do that. Like, were you that guy that could convince the coach that he was wrong?
Yeah, there was a couple times, but obviously, like I always have my opinions. They may never agree with me and just tell me to shut up and sit down. That's happened a couple times as well too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like most of the coaches are like that. Obviously, not really my first year as a rookie. You don't got much say in
No.
anything like that. But I mean, near the end there, like both Craig and Rich were pretty good with that. Especially Rich, kind of when he took over the team, he took over a pretty veteran team, right? So. Um, yeah, I would just say like they were pretty good with the feedback on that.
Yeah. Good. Good. Good.
Mhm.
Who was more fiery? Was it Ben or is it Rich?
Yeah, it's
Who
Ben,
got
Ben.
was it?
Ben,
Yeah.
they were
You,
close.
you
They were
you don't
close,
need to
but
get into that. I think yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, but he got fired up sometimes. But I think every coach kind of has their moments, right? So
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's just a
yeah,
motivational tactic, right?
yeah,
So you are now a banker at
yep,
ATB.
yep,
You got those three beautiful letters BBA behind your name.
yeah.
Uh, tell me a little bit about your job at ATB, and do you find that you're drawing anything from your sporting experience and you've been able to bring it to your career now?
Yeah, big time. So right now I'm just kind of doing personal banking, so things like mortgages, small investments, personal day-to-day banking. But in the meantime, I'm kind of studying for just more courses that I can get to more get into the financial advisor and investing role. So still kind of studying through those. But as for the team aspect, definitely, I think, especially in the field I'm in, like just the team mentality being able to take that criticism and also like the level of competition, right? I think that's where sports really helps. You're always trying to get better. You're always trying to push yourself, and then you take that to the workplace, and it really helps you out. If as long as you're always pushing yourself, trying to get better, trying to move further in your career, and people can see that ambition and determination, it'll get you pretty far. And I don't know if I'd have those kind of qualities without sports.
Once again, we're talking to Michael Farion, Rattlers men's basketball for 5 years, entertaining guy to watch, and a number of great teams during his time here. Tell me this: what is a simple piece of financial advice during COVID that you would recommend to anybody?
Save your money. No, I don't know. Financial advice, like for through COVID, it was tough on everyone, right? I don't know if you could really predict something like that happen. But the biggest thing is just kind of always keeping that emergency fund, right? You never know what's going to happen, especially for people who are working in like the oil field and things like that, right? The unpredictable happens all the time. So I think always keeping just that safety nest. I know it's easy to save, but it's harder to actually to do that.
Mm-hmm. You're probably seeing that a lot these days. You have people coming to you and saying, "Look, I didn't see COVID coming. We thought we had everything lined up and life was chugging away, and next thing I my hours have been cut or my income, I'm just not making what I used to even a year ago. What do I do?" And you're the
Yeah.
guy they come to.
Yeah, there was a lot like ATB did quite a bit for Albertans when it comes to that. To be honest, they made it easier for me to have those conversations when it came to like mortgage deferrals or deferrals on their loans and things like that, just so people can
Yep.
put the money where it matters more, right? So I think just working for a good company that I work for kind of makes that a little easier to have those conversations and provide those solutions for people.
Good, good, good. So how long have you been with ATB now then?
Just over 2 years, so not too long, but yeah,
Good.
two
And
years.
how many boxes of business cards have you gone through already?
Quite a few, quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how much is digital nowadays, though, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of where the world's going. So I don't know, like business cards, like you use them, but a lot of things over email, over the phone, and technology is used quite a bit nowadays. So
Sounds good. Um, you and Danica, if I'm not mistaken, is that correct?
yeah, yeah.
You guys have been, sorry, are you married or dating or what's,
No, not me.
sorry to pry.
I'm getting that a lot now.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm starting to feel the pressure. No,
Well,
we're
because
together.
you guys have been dating. I mean, you look back at your Instagram and God, it goes back years and years. There's pictures of you two together, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a good girl. Lucky to have her, for sure. She's a good one. She's a keeper, that's for sure. But need to save up a little more money before I start doing that. We just
Sure.
actually bought a house here in Medicine Hat, so it's gonna be a little tight for a bit. So
Hmm.
mhm.
But look, with any couple, you might think you're compatible. You got a lot of things in common. But do you have a pet together yet?
Yeah, two cats and getting a dog, so got quite a bit now. Yeah,
There you go.
so as soon as we get that
That's
house, we'll be getting a dog. So
that sounds like a family right there.
a little bit. It's moving fast.
Yep. So, Mike, okay, so you're both somewhat active on Instagram.
Mhm.
How does it feel, though, when she can post a picture of anything and get like hundreds and hundreds of likes on it, and you struggle to get like a dozen likes. Like I,
Yeah.
I, I see, you've got some great pictures on there, some incredible photography, some beautiful places that as a couple you've gone to visit,
Mhm.
and you might get a couple of dozen likes. And she can post a picture of a freaking doorstop and get 200 likes.
Yeah. I'm not very active on social media, to be honest. Like
No.
I post every once in a while, but not really my thing. I'm not too into the social media. But honestly, on the last pictures, I think I beat her in likes. So
Ah, okay.
I think I'm ahead of her still. I've been
All
around a
right.
lot, met a lot of people. So
That's true. Mike, last question, then we'll get into the show and tell.
sure.
You have a you have a tattoo
Hmm.
on your back,
Yep.
and the tattoo says "In God's hands."
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that saying and the I think it's like there's three doves and a cross, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me a little bit about that and kind of what the inspiration was between that artwork and what it means to you.
Yeah, it means a lot. That cross and prayer hands were my first tattoo, and then I got the three doves and the angel, and then the one on my arm, and they kind of all mean a lot to me. The one like the doves kind of stand for like my mom, my one of my grandmas, and my little brother, and then the angels kind of sitting there in our birthstones, me, my brother, and my grandma's birthstones, and then just trusting God's hands, right? Like it just kind of helped me get through a lot of adversity when I was growing up, through high school and everything like that. And it just helped me be the man I am today. Like I never thought I'd kind of be the kid graduating with a business degree and where I am now. So
Yep.
um, yeah,
And hey, even the last few months, right? I mean, everybody's had an
exactly.
increased level of anxiety, and whatever you can do to draw strength, from whatever you believe in, right? I mean, it can only
Hmm.
help.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, time for show and tell, everybody.
Yeah.
Mike Farion. And basically, what this is we're looking for something either interesting or absolutely bizarre, but you got to tell the story behind it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have too much because I'm packing up right now. So a lot of our stuff's in boxes. But I don't know if you might have seen it with our other guys, but that you see it there, the basketball.
There it is.
Yeah, so basically, kind of all of our fifth year guys got it. And I was actually just before we did, I was just kind of reading through what everyone wrote on it. It's just good memories, man. That was the best basketball team I've ever been a part of. We always said brotherhood before and after our games, so um, just looking at that always brings back a lot of memories and good memories of a good team and some good guys and something I'll never be able to replace.
Good. Now, looking in the comments right now, there's a comment that says the best point guard in ACAC history. When you hear that coming from a guy like Pietro, who dominated the game when he played, what does a compliment like that mean to you from a guy like Pietro, who had plenty of game on his own?
Pietro's my dude, man. He's my big Brazilian brother. I always keep in touch with him, even though we don't talk like too often. We always try to keep in touch here and there. But yeah, it was good. Like he was the best big man in ACAC history in my eyes too, and same with a lot of our players, right? Like I thought we were one of
Yeah.
the better teams that I've ever seen. I know later, like earlier on in the ACAC history, there were some really good teams, but from what I've seen, that was a great team, and like I said, coming from him, he always says stuff like that to me. So it's not the first
Yep.
time, not the first time
Well,
I've heard that.
better to play with him than against a guy like that, right?
Yeah, he's soft.
All right. All right. Once again, everyone, this has been Michael Farion, number
Yeah,
23. He's a banker now with ATB Financial. You know what? If anyone wants to come and talk to you about what to do with that nest egg of that big pile of money they got under the bed, where do
yeah.
they go? How do they get in touch with you?
You just stop by the downtown branch and ask for Mike. I'm pretty well been around all the branches around here, so I'm sure if you say my name, you'll be able to find me pretty easily.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time, Mike. Have a great
awesome.
summer. Stay safe. All the best to Danica. We wish her the best with the upcoming school year. I know there's a lot of uncertainty there, and many
Yeah,
teachers are concerned, and so we'll be thinking of her. So give her our best too. Okay.
yeah, awesome. See you around, KJ. Have a good day.
All right. Take care. There he goes, Michael Farion, number 23, Rattler basketball. 5 seasons with the team, and just a really, really exciting era. And it's great to see him and get caught up with him. All right, guys, just the one interview this week, but we're back next week. We've got a full roster of student athletes and alumni and coaches and everything else there. And if you are, you know what? I should have asked Mike. In fact, I will. I'll ask him. I'll send him a DM. We always get our guests to give us a recommendation as to who would be incredible on the Rattler vlog, and I totally forgot. So, Mike, I'm going to send you a DM in that regard. But in the meantime, have a great summer, have a great night, stay safe. We'll talk to you next week right here on the Rattler vlog. Take care, guys.